Here now is Matt Austin and Ginger Gadsden with Florida's Fourth Estate.
Hi there, and welcome to Florida's Fourth Estate. Here on News 6, we have decided to devote an entire day to mental health. It is a crisis in America right now, certainly a crisis in Florida. And so Florida's Fourth Estate, we wanted to do our part. We are dedicated this episode to mental health. And a lot of it, you know, especially as a parent myself, and we all went through it as kids, being a child is just a weird time. And it's a time when we need to be really focused on what these kids are going through and trying to get them to share it with us all we can. Glad you're with us. I'm Matt Austin.
And I'm Ginger Gadsden. It really is such an important topic, and I'm happy we're tackling it. This is just the tip of the iceberg because there is so much to unpack when we talk about mental health. So we're bringing on someone who is going to help us navigate these rugged mental health waters, so to speak. And we've seen her before, but it's been a while. We talked to her at the beginning of the pandemic, so it's really good to see her again and talk to Dr. Romy Mushtaq. Thank you so much for being here. And we appreciate that you're going to talk about something that most people don't want to talk about. And we're talking about mental health, the crisis we're seeing in this country. And the part that I think is disturbing or alarming for a lot of people, it's a mental health crisis, not just for the adults, but for kids.
Ginger, yeah, thank you both so much for having me back for what's a crucial topic. I want to start by saying this, that as a neurologist or a brain doctor, mental health was always a crisis, and it got expanded in awareness, and certainly issues with children got worse during the pandemic. I don't want to deny that. But what is different today, I hear often a lot of people saying is, where did all this mental health talk come from and crisis? Did it just erupt in the last 2 years? I think that was here all along. We just have better awareness thanks to conversations like we're having today. And honestly, the influence of social media, making it a little bit more safe to talk about mental health.
Yeah, and this is the perfect place to do it. And I think you're the perfect person to do it. Coming from that medical background, you're exactly the person we wanted to talk to. So let's talk about when you're a kid, specifically, like, let's say transitioning maybe elementary, middle school, maybe early high school. What the heck is happening to your brain?
Our brains start developing from the time we're in utero, and they're developing for our entire life. There's a key development period until about the age of 7 to 8, but it really goes until the age of 25, which a lot of people don't realize that. And why is that really important for our brains? As we grow, and there's a little bit of nature, meaning our genes, and nurture is the biggest part of it, meaning what kind of social environment we're in, what kind of home life we have, our sleep wake cycles, all of those things play a role in how our mental well-being develops and our mental health. And I really want to say those are two different things because you just alluded it to children. Mental well-being is our ability to cope and how happy we feel and joyful. Our mental health, we start looking at, is there disease? And often people confuse the two, and we're going to dig into that a little bit more when we talk about treatments. I bring the worlds of neurology and integrative medicine together. So an example is people will say, well, Dr. Romy, my child just got diagnosed with bipolar or anxiety or depression. Can't I do one of these trendy diets for kid, omitting gluten? And no. When you have disease, it's really different than your mental well-being. So I want to start with children, is that everything determines their mental well-being. But one of the, I'd say three crucial things is a child's brain needs a schedule and needs to have regularity. Otherwise, it can take a sense of psychological safety away and disrupt our biological clock or rhythm. The second thing is the environment of knowing that you're in a place that you feel cared for and safe. And you could have that at home and not at school, or vice versa, have it at school and not at home. And then, the third thing is that sense of connection.
And it's so important. Okay, so every brain is different, Dr. Romy. Can you just give parents an idea of what they should be looking for in their own child to tell if there's something that's not, I don't
Yeah.
like to use the word wrong, but something not right?
really what you want to notice is over time about a few key symptoms is all of a sudden, does your child stop loving the things or the people or the hobbies that they were doing, including giving up things like video games or nah, I don't want to be on TikTok anymore, right? So an
Mhm.
abrupt change of behavior. The other thing is changing what they're eating drastically should be a cause to think, is there something going on? Today's world of social media, we obviously worry about both boys and girls having issues with, eating disorders or anything, but it could be even as simple as all of a sudden they're eating a lot more than they did and hungry all the time, or they've just stopped eating. And the last one is a change in sleep and energy. If your child is normally sleeping 9, 10 hours a night and all of a sudden they're awake all night and crawling into bed with you, or the opposite, think something is wrong. It's those early indicators
Mm.
that when we're sitting as doctors, the parents go back, oh, yeah, this has been going on for months.
Yeah, how do you figure them out? Like what, because a lot of time, every day my daughters come home and go, hey, what's up, beautiful? How was your day? That was good. How was yours? I got zero
Yeah.
information. How do you dig in
Yeah.
there a little more?
That's a good thing. So, how is your day? Are you okay? Or like conversation that will stop a
Right.
conversation, right? And so, we always the simple thing can be the rose and the thorn of the day, and but it needs a cooler name. I sound like such a Dr. Auntie Romy when I say, "What was your rose
Yeah.
and thorn during the day? What was the thumbs up emoji and the thumbs down
What was the puke
emoji of the
emoji?
day?"
Yeah,
Right?
that's good.
Yeah, the puke emoji moment of the day. But the key is how, if you don't know what an emoji is, ask them. Sometimes it can create a moment of laughter, right? I have that line always, I'm having an auntie moment. What does that mean? But the second thing to do is always remember, allow a child to feel their feelings. You said something so critical that as adults, we want to jump in and fix things that we love, or ask questions, or if we think something like a bullying is going on at school, we get all huff and puffed and angry. Remember, keep the own station of your brain to calm as much as possible and allow your child to feel their feelings. And they may seem out of proportion to what's going on, especially in the hormonal years, as we call them, but allow them. Because remember, if we give a safe space for a child to be angry, frustrated, have an outburst, go off, most emotions will calm down within 90 seconds to 3 minutes. And now you just gave them that safe space to feel their feelings. You don't need to deal with the feelings, just allow them to feel the feelings.
If
Yes.
you recognize that your child is struggling, where can you go to get help?
Yeah. I think the most courageous thing you can do as a parent is realize that you need outside help and you can't figure out everything on your own from YouTube. Three great resources I want to give is look at your health insurance company and see if they have benefits. Talk therapy, unfortunately, is not always easily covered by insurance, but they may have a partnership with a platform on an app on a phone that your child can talk to a child therapist. The second suggestion is ask your school counselors or the teachers. They may keep a list of therapists that are affiliated with the school district or ones that they recommend. And the third thing is please talk to your pediatrician. It is now mandated by the American College of Pediatricians that starting at age 8 to start doing annual mental health screenings for anxiety, and at 11 for depression in all children. So always go to those three resources over going to social media.
Oh, amen. Always pick something else over social media.
Social
Dr.
media.
Romy Mushtaq, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for the critical information. Stick with us. After the break, we're going to introduce you to somebody who's been through this from the eyes of a kid in those awkward years of middle and high school. We'll be right back.